This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
When the sun rises, a new day is born. That fresh start carries a multitude of possibilities. You can reset the ugliness of yesterday and replace it with the beauty of today. When day after day of darkness descends on your life, opening your eyes becomes a challenge. The pain that seems to be eternal eventually comes to an end and is replaced by joy. Hanging on till that change is made can be much easier said than done. The ebb and flow of life can be overwhelming and difficult to navigate. The darkness teaches many lessons, much more than the light. Be certain that good days and bad days will follow one another while you're on this earth. Welcome to Season 5 of the Suffering Podcast. I'm Kevin Donaldson, always here with Mike Felice. And if you're a fan of overcoming adversity and overcoming suffering, then we're for you, because that's what we do here, and that's the stories that we highlight. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, please comment, ring the bell so you can get notified of all of our new content, and now you can join. And of course, follow us on all social media so you can find out what we're up to. So the season opener, I have my guys in here. I have Tom Flynn, I have Mike DePalma, and we are going to talk about the suffering of more fun. Because if you remember last year we did the suffering of fun, and it was one of the most fun episodes I ever had, and I thought we're going to start this season off with a little bit of bang, a little bit of laughter, and a little bit of fun. Thank you guys for coming in.
Sounds good to me.
Absolutely. Now, Bobby Crudell was supposed to join us, so since he's not here and I am a reformed bully, I still have it in me. Since he's not here to defend himself, because a bully never wants to have anybody defend themselves, we're going to hit him kind of hard today just for not being here. Do you guys agree?
Open season.
Yeah.
It's going to
I'm going to have to go after the Hudson County thing.
Yeah, sorry, Bobby. Before we get into anything, as always, let's throw a big shout out to our marquee sponsor. That's Toyota of Hackensack. We don't trust anybody as cops, and we surely don't trust anybody as podcasters, but we do trust Toyota of Hackensack. So go to toyotahackensack.com and let them find you a car. So, guys, we're going to start it off with our social media question, and it comes from Tough Guy. Tough Guy wants to ask us a question. If you could, what is one thing you could change about yourself? I'm going to start this one off with Mike DePalma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not to be a tough guy. I don't know.
Besides your waistline.
No, I'm just a little bit. I ate 2 or 3 drones. Like, I got nervous one night. One thing flew down. One thing led to another. That's that. I maybe changed the entire year. Pretty much, I guess. I can't wait to 2025. Yeah, I would change some things in last year.
You would change the year? Go back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, these are tricky questions right now. I'm just...
I'm not asking you to solve Chinese calculus.
I guess I would change my...
belly?
Shorts. No, not the... Will you stop that?
Well, I just saw your belly in the control room.
That's a hernia.
I just saw your belly in the control room, and I can't unsee it.
I would change opening my mouth when I'm not supposed to.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's
a very, very important thing that I need to work on.
You need to put it like a governor.
No, I just need to not say a word. Just go in the corner and pout. Well, that's probably it.
But that's actually there's actually a mechanism, and you've used this mechanism before. The mechanism for that is, remember, every once in a while, and you haven't done this in a while, you would say, I'm going to type this. What do you think? You would send it to me.
No, I know.
I'm going to type this. And I'm like, it's right, but I don't think I'd do that.
Well, I stopped the typing. Like, I just don't do it. But now it just comes out in my mouth.
Because you're really good at doing that for me.
Yeah.
Okay? When I have this thought, if I run it by you, you'll say, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. When, if the roles were reversed, you would do the same. You would throw it right out there too.
Yeah.
It's easier to look on somebody else when they're saying something they shouldn't say, and telling them to stop. But it's very, very hard for me to do that, because I'll do that too. Like, if you came to me and said, hey, I want to type this, I'm like, dude, it's not a really good idea. But I know if I was put in your situation, I would just throw it out there. I wouldn't even ask.
That's true. I guess it's control.
All right, Tom, aside from your skin tone,
yeah,
what do you think you'd change?
I asked for a tan for Christmas, and you see how it worked out.
How's it feel being 400% Irish?
Yeah. I just wanted a little skin tone, just a little, like 1%. I'd be cool with, instead of being translucent.
Why'd you give me the Casper?
Yeah.
He's using a big word again.
Yeah, people bump into me. There's like, is anybody even there? Excuse me.
Well, let
I'm
me
in
ask-
line here. Well, sorry, I didn't see you there.
When somebody touches your skin, do you get an automatic red mark?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think it is, Tom? What's one thing you'd change?
So when you say that, I thought like, because it's a new season, we talk about like resolutions. Everybody has a New Year's resolution and everything. I was never big on that. But for this year, I do have a goal, and it's just be better. Be better. And I have 3 things. It's like this big system. It's called OKRs, objectives, key results, all this thing. So it's got to be measurable.
Of course,
right?
it's got an acronym.
Yeah. So OKRs was a thing by Intel and Google, and you have an objective, and then you measure how close you get by key results. So I got 3 goals. One of them is to read 3 books in 2025. Another one is to do a random act of kindness that no one knows about. And then the third one, not necessarily in this order, is to reunite 3 girls with their father.
So what would you change about yourself as you sit today?
So I think my approach, sometimes I just don't come off as likable right off the bat. And people hear that sometimes. So I got to change the other person's mind. I got to go in there and change and just be a better convincer.
Maybe there's a guerrilla tactic you can use. So I once read this book called Guerrilla Sales Tactics. and it
Mine
was-
might be like a spider monkey tactic instead of gorilla.
So a guerrilla sales tactic is you're selling something, but the person being sold doesn't know they're being sold. There's all sorts of backdoor ways and means in order to do that. And if you apply that to life, the way you're doing things might not be working. This is universal. Obviously, if it doesn't work, then you're doing it wrong. Because I believe that there is a means and a method to do everything.
Yeah.
So if you change the tactic, it might work. It might work, right?
Yeah,
I
but what do you
think
like? You don't have to change who you are for other people.
Not change who you are, change how you approach it.
I know. I agree. I don't know. I don't. That's another thing I got to work on. Like, I really don't give a shit anymore. I don't mean in a bad. Like, it's just I'm to that point in life. Like, look, I know who I am. I know who I want around me, and
Well, that's the big thing, right? So you don't have to change for anybody, but you change the people who are around you,
agree.
who accept you for who you are.
Right.
All right. And I was having a conversation about you with my oldest son. And I let him in on a little bit of your background on what you did in Baghdad and stuff like that. And I said, you got to understand something. Mike DePalma deserves the utmost. Actually, you know what we were doing? We were watching the Pacific.
Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah,
and
it was
they were doing the part about John Basilone. And we were going through how he won the Medal of Honor and stuff. I said, and then
Jersey guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. It's a Manalapan, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I hit pause and you came up and we started talking about you. And I said, that man has been through more things than you could possibly imagine. And for that alone, that's one of the reasons why that man deserves the utmost respect from us all. So that was, now Flynn, I said, say whatever you want to
I
Flynn.
appreciate that.
No, this guy's got a great relationship with my kids. He's actually made my kids feel real comfortable around him enough where they start busting his balls a little bit because I'm busting his balls.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I
Same-
thought I was
same
safe.
thing with my kids. Like, he started playing this little game that I got Brian for Christmas.
Yeah.
And you flick a ball. It's pretty cool. Like, have like little pegs and stuff. And I tell him, Flynn, like, he's beating my son. I said, Flynn, my son's just like me. We don't like to lose. You see my son starting to shift. I was like, you're probably not going to get a hug goodbye tonight.
For the record, he beat me. Just to let you know.
See, I never let a kid win. I'm sorry. I'll beat the shit out. I don't care. You're 3 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Your special needs. I don't
See,
care.
that's
Special my
that's
ass.
terrible.
I'll beat the shit out of the kid.
Father Christmas is here.
Yeah, no. My kids know. I do not let them win.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to fly off the handle. I have a tendency to get very angry. And I feel it bubbling up. All right. And I've been working on this for years. This is not a New Year's resolution thing. This is not something that's suddenly come up. This is an ongoing problem I have in my life. I have a way of getting angry that when I see red, I can't stop. All right. And it goes downhill. I can keep it at bay for a long time. I can take it. I'll put it to you this way. It's like being stabbed. over and over again. And that one last stab hits a major artery, and then it's just an explosion.
Can't control, yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I could change about myself, it would be my power to de-escalate myself. I don't know if I'll ever get there. It's a continual work in progress. I work on it with my therapist all the time. And oddly enough is, we got the same therapist. She's a little tiny woman, and she's seen me like get aggravated. Not at her. She's seen me get aggravated. And she'll just sit there and smile. Yeah. Like it doesn't bother her. Meanwhile, I'm like 3 times the size of her. You figure she'd get nervous. She's
good.
But so I work on that on a daily basis with her. So if there's one thing I'll change, it's just I got to stop with the anger. I got to stop with the anger. I got to figure out where it's coming from. I got to figure out what brings it up, what bubbles it up. And then I got to figure out a way to redirect it, because that is energy that's created, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It's just got to be transferred. Yeah. So I got to figure out how to transfer that information. Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can relate to that, the poking. And you can't, you get to the point where you try to stay silent, which I try to master, but the poking just continues, and that's it.
You can only bend a rubber band so far before it snaps.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's kind of what happens to me.
Nobody sees the poking before they see the reaction.
But here's the problem with that. All they see is you blowing up.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit anymore about what led up to that blow up.
Right.
But then they see you being an asshole.
Right.
And now all of a sudden, I'm a big giant asshole because I blew up. Well, what about the fucking 10 things that you said to me before that made me get there?
The body cam.
Oh, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Yeah.
They see the aftermath on the body cam, but not everything that lead up to it.
Right. Can we please submit all the evidence before we go to trial?
Right. Right.
But that never happens.
Oh,
so all you end up doing is in a situation where you may have been right. Now you're wrong. No matter what. Doesn't matter what you do. So I'll work on it. We all will. Tough guy. Thank you for sending that question in. Keep sending in your questions, and we will try to get them on the air. So, gentlemen, brand new season. Brand new year. I'm actually happy to get rid of. I'm happy and I'm sad to get rid of 2024, because the shining light in 2024 was having you guys around me. I think 2024, if there is a great thing that happened in 2024, and it's really beauty out of ashes with Mike's death, is our group. And obviously Bobby's not here because he just doesn't care about us. He just doesn't care about us. Our group has gelled to really lean on each other. We got some real fucked up ways of dealing with shit.
Yeah.
And we all seem to deal with stuff the same way. I kind of see us like the A-Team, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, Bobby's I would have to say he's like Face Man. He'll just fucking say whatever you want. You're definitely BA.
Here it comes. I swear. There's no girls on the A-Team, so at least I'm a dude in this one. I'm already starting at a low barometer here.
So see, you're like Face Man without the face. No, you're like Face Man because you're like the level-headed one. You're the planner. He's got to be Mad Murdoch. You're definitely BA.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because George Papard, he's Hannibal. I got to be Hannibal because I'll make the plan, but I need you guys to execute it. So I think that's one of the shining lights in there. So what I really want to do is I want to talk about some of the messages that go back and forth between all of us.
The behind the scenes.
By the way,
I don't know. Not all.
We can't share. Fuck, we'll be canceled in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Some of the shit that goes on, but there's some meanings behind all that stuff. Like we try to.
There's always a point.
We try to get each other out of each other's heads. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
I would agree for sure.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff gets pretty brutal too.
Yeah.
And we all know how each other replies. You'll give the one-word answer, bully.
I'll send like a video, Instagram.
You're sick. Tom will give the thoughtful.
Yeah.
thoughtful, like something was said today. and it's like-
Philosophical.
And he goes, yeah, they don't enjoy when you buy one ticket to the Crayola factory.
Yeah. They frown on that for some reason. Sir, where's your family? One ticket. So you're
Bobby-
at the Crayola factory.
Bobby will send
He's the audio.
He's the audio
man.
guy.
Oh, yeah.
And
That thing scares me. Like, I'm like, what's coming out of this? Like, I got to go in a corner and listen to it.
right, they're like 5
fine.
minutes long, and I can't play it in front of anybody.
You know which one I think was one of the best? When we did Alexa. And we were
Yeah,
recording
I just
Alexa.
learned how to do that. I was like, whoa, this could be powerful.
So with Bobby's audio messages, he would send these audio messages to me, and they're hilarious. And I'm like, what a waste of good content. And that's where the rants of Crudell. You had the
Yeah.
philosophies of Flynn, and you
That
had
was
the
wisdom.
The wisdom.
the philosophies of Flynn, and we had the
Wisdom of
hurricane wisdom of DePalma.
Yeah.
Some of them were such gold. They're such gold.
But you know, there's always a point.
There is a point to them all.
It's comical. It's sometimes it's impactful, and there's always a point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, this is the point. And everybody understands each other's terminology or however we express it. Like, I'm just like bully.
And then every once in a
I
while,
don't feel like
so I hate to pick on Bobby since he's not here, but we're going to do it. Bobby will send like 10 messages where they'll just be obnoxious and really bad language.
But there's so much truth to it.
It's 100% true.
Bobby says what people don't want to say.
Exactly.
Bobby says what people are scared to say.
But then he'll throw us off. He'll send a really nice
Yeah.
and meaningful one. Always cut with the ending of, oh, suck a dick.
Yeah.
It's like a roller coaster, but
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's like so
But
heartfelt.
that's the one thing he says what people don't say or are scared to say or whatever.
And that's why I put out the rants of Crudell.
Right.
And I just put one out the other day about a problem he had with the way people react to mental health.
Right.
All right, and I thought that one hit me hard. I'm telling you
Yeah.
what, it hit me really, really hard because he was 100% correct.
Right.
You know, everybody talks about, oh, we need to stop this. We need to stop this. There's a problem. And I went on and did a live about it. Everybody wants to be a fucking advocate in it.
Yeah.
It kills me. Everybody wants it. Well, what are you going to advocate for suicide? Because I don't see anybody doing that. So you're advocating.
Right.
And Bobby said something in there. He said, what's your plan?
The game plan. That's right.
What's your plan? And that's, I think, what hit me. And it kind of made me look at myself a little bit. You know, I go out there and I'll talk about it and stuff like this. And I really had to reorganize the way that I thought. And what I came up with is I'm just trying to open up a conversation, and then I have resources.
Right.
Right? That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to open up the conversation, but I don't know whether it's enough.
Just like when I said, hey, it's time to make a difference. Listen, Bobby is right. It's too difficult to make an overall impactful difference. But like, you know, when we used to teach DARE or whatever, hey, if you get one person and you pull that one person out of that, you know, that hole or whatever, I mean, it's successful, I guess.
We're just not doing it fast enough because we just lost that other officer.
Yeah.
We're not doing it fast enough. And, you know, I said this, I don't really enjoy hearing people come here and talk about their suffering, but the way they overcame it may be valuable to somebody else. It's kind of exposing it.
But look at all the people that came in here and talked about their suffering and made a difference on their own. Like,
Yeah.
you know, starting podcasts. I mean, that's impactful.
Yeah. I mean,
You know?
we're trying the best, but, you know, it's kind of like unnavigated waters. You know, nobody really knows what to do. And there's still a lot of stigma attached to it. There's still a lot of hesitancy attached to it. And we're just trying to get rid of that. We're just four guys who are basically idiots.
Yeah, but look at it. Like, everybody has like a little different personality. Like, you started, I mean, no better place to start than this group, right?
Yeah.
Like, it really is group therapy. Like, every Wednesday or whenever we're here in the studio, like, that's therapy for me. And it may be not as obvious
good
as
thing,
that.
yeah.
Maybe not be
It's always been
traditional.
therapy for me. Always.
Yeah.
You know, I always looked forward to it. And while we're here tonight, because we're talking about fun, because the recipe for comedy, and we all have the recipe for comedy, it's tragedy over time becomes comedy, right?
Yeah.
So each of us have our own little backstory of just madness and tragedy. And
I wish I could say half the things I did in 2024. I hold back so much. It's not even like my Thai restaurant thing. And
but so take the Mickey Mouse incident, the famous DePalma Mickey Mouse incident.
Oof.
You look at that today. How many years removed are we from that?
5, I think. 5, maybe even 5.
That's one of the funniest fucking things I ever seen in my life. It wasn't funny at the
I
time.
was so angry at that guy. He was just
Wasn't funny at the time.
no, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It
Still
wasn't.
lives
I
on.
almost sent more stuff, so I'm thankful for that, I guess.
Like when Flynn creeped me out in the middle of in front of Madison Square Garden in the city first time I met him.
Hello.
Hello, hey, Kevin Donaldson, how you doing? I'm like, okay, let me take my asshole shot. And I remember coming in here.
Where's my wallet?
I think that was a Monday. And I remember coming in here. Mike's in here, and I go, "You're not going to believe this shit." And like that's how the story.
He called me too. Yeah.
I called him like, well, actually, I called you first. I called you before I got into the path. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy Flynn?
I was like, nah, it's a good guy. See, I'm like, you saw me like when I was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
And he reached. You could tell he reached out. You could.
You had brought that up that you were attending this. It was Face.
Yeah.
You were attending this, and they can help and do all that stuff. And then you started talking about him, but you didn't use him. I don't know whether you told his name or not, but I asked you. I said,
no, I said it was a cop. I said it was a cop. I felt comfortable.
Yeah, so I asked you to reach out to me on Instagram. I think I said reach out to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a way to blow you off. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a way to blow.
I gotta do that thing. I gotta
I gotta go take a shit.
I gotta do that thing. I gotta do.
I'll be right back.
I gotta go take a shit. Like in the middle of New York City, somebody picks you out of a crowd.
And how did you see? I don't even. You might not even.
Because
know what you look like. Or did you?
The only reason I did is
or you
because
stalking it.
No, because the first night that you jumped on that face call, like I could tell. Number one, like
my hair was sticking up. And
you were running it through.
I just came back from the Thai
frequently.
restaurant making an attack.
Yeah, it was like kid and play at the end. It's up there. I was like, he's baking a cake up there or something. It's gigantic. But he was, I mean, listen, he was in a bad way. And, it was everything that we know about family court and all that. And then he started saying, he's like, yeah, you might have seen me on the Suffering podcast. I'm like, all right, that's where he lost me. I said, I was up with him the whole way. So I looked up the Suffering podcast and I started watching episodes. And I'm like, not only is this guy on it, he's got main character energy. And then I see you, and 3 days later, I happen to go in the city, and there you are, bopping down the street.
With my glasses on, this freak picks me out with my glasses on. I got my head down.
It was so weird, because I had just watched it. I'm like, all right, whatever. I got to help this guy. Do whatever I can do. And then there you are. You had your dry cleaning. You were doing something for the church.
No, I was actually filming a show for my church on 51st, and I was walking back to the path. Because I called you because you used to give me the great hookup with the parking.
Yeah.
I paid full price that day, just to let you know.
Hey, thanks for the legal help.
Rotten bastards.
Now pay full price.
Cool.
Yeah, but I heard the spot's no longer there because the guy retired.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's going to suck.
We could figure something out.
Do the old Hoboken stretch.
We can figure it out.
But this is all a carryover from the way we did our jobs, right?
Yeah.
You saw some horrible shit, and you learned to deal with it. I'm not sure it's the healthiest way, but it was the only way we had. So you bring that, we've all been retired for, well, you will be retired soon. Bobby is recently retired, and I think he's mall cop now, right? No, he's not. He's not.
You're going to say he's Paul Blart from the A-Team.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, by the way.
What did I call him today? I called him Bobby Cakes.
Yeah.
This is some of the danger of being involved with these guys, because you're level-headed. You're out of your fucking mind, and this swing nut over
He's
here.
He's right behind me, so don't.
Let's get that part on.
He just has a
I'm out of
better
my mind in a good way.
He has a better working vocabulary than you. That's what it is. You think alike.
I don't want to express myself with vocabulary. I just want to say like what I feel. If it's crap shit balls, I want to say it.
Crap shit balls.
If I want to say crap shit balls, I'm going to say it. That's that. I don't need to like soften it up or like put icing on it or whatever it is. That's that.
But the knowledge you got floating around in your head, Like,
Yeah,
if
it's not normal.
No, it's not.
It's really not normal.
And I've said this about you for years. You are the Foster Brooks of this show. Foster Brooks was a comedian who always acted like he was drunk. Foster Brooks never drank, and Foster Brooks was an absolute genius. So
genius. But I think a lot. Like, obviously everybody does.
No, you're from Hoboken. You tink.
You think.
You tink.
Super genius, maybe. No, genius, no. Super genius.
We all think.
We all tink. We tink sometimes.
We all think all the time.
We tink all the time.
Me and him.
But there's been some incidents like today. Today we got some bad information.
The key component to any law enforcement officer being the best version of themselves is through education. Sherry Alsop is a leader in providing that education to police agencies, preparing them for the all too frequent dealings with sexual assault victims.
You've seen Sherry on episode 169 of the Suffering Podcast. She survived incest and almost daily sexual assault, so she comes from a place of experience and true understanding.
Sherry has the intelligence, commitment, and compassion to open the eyes of those on the front lines, while providing the tools to effectively deal with a difficult situation. Sherry's instruction comes from experience and multiple certifications.
Training with Sherry will offer on-site training, customized schedules, specialized instruction, tailored from a victim's perspective.
You are going to hear Sherry's heart-wrenching but inspiring survivor story. Learn proprietary trauma-informed training techniques, uncovered victim-centered interview methods while earning continuing education credits according to your state guidelines. To be the best, you must learn from the best. Let Sherry also guide you through the delicate cases of sexual assault from a victim's point of view.
Be a source of comfort to those victims affected by these traumatic experiences while producing a solid investigation and uncovering details that often go unnoticed.
To find out more or to contact Sherry Alsop, go to sherryalsop.com. That's SherryAllsup.com.
And I don't know about you guys, but it really bothered me. Like, it really bothered me. Not because of what happened, because of the consequence prior to this happening. I just wanted to punch somebody in the head. Like, I turned into you. Like, you're rolling the group.
What? I
turned into you.
See, that's why I don't want to be the tough guy. I don't like.
Well, you're BA. Sorry. You're BA.
Yeah.
Now I just sprint out of my house when I just run.
He
ran. I can't run my back.
So I got really aggravated. And, we just like, we were having a good time on the text thread today, and Bobby just sort of gave us this information, kind of screwed everything up. So shame on him. It's his fault getting me so fucking pissed off. What do you think? What do you guys think makes you laugh the most? Like, there's certain people. Pranks?
I love that stuff.
Oh, I got you guys with a good prank in 2024. Oh my God, did I get you with a good prank?
Which one was that?
I don't know.
So
There's so many to count.
I called on a good friend, Mark Hettinger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Nah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to say this one. So I called on Mark. I'm like, Mark, I need your help, man. I need your help. These
we
guys...
were crushing you. Well, he was, because he's better with the face and hole things, whatever that is.
So I call on Mark.
That right there, the face and hole thing. The face and whole thing.
I had to call on Mark because it was almost like I had to ask permission from a group of people that I was going to be marginalizing by doing this prank. Mark, as you know, Mark is gay. Him and his husband, Nick, they're very good friends of the show, and they're wonderful people. So I said, Mark, I need your help. Well, Mark proceeds to make up fake Grindr profiles of both of you.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was. I said, Kevin, are you fucking...
Oh, you know what Grindr is.
No, I'm being... Remember,
yeah,
I called Kevin. I went, are you serious with this right now?
So let me back up.
I was in my house. I was snapping. Like my head was banging up against things.
Let me back up.
Like this.
Let me back up.
Yeah.
So before that gets sent out over the airwaves for public, Mark
it was so real.
Mark sends it to me. I go,
oh boy.
I go, holy shit. Like, I start panicking. I go, holy shit. This is fucking bad. Both of these guys, they got legal troubles. This is just going to compound the legal troubles. Oh my God, please tell me you didn't do this. Take it down, take it down. They're like, no, it's fake. And I'm like, it's perfect.
Ex-wives are
saying to myself,
screenshotting the thing
God,
for me.
I'm in court Friday.
I'm like, since he got me so good with it and I started panicking, I'm like, that's perfect. That's perfect. So when you guys,
that was real.
When you guys got those, you got to tell me your initial reactions. I wasn't sitting in front of you. It was sent over text.
I snapped inside a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I snapped within myself, and I'm like, nah. I say he wouldn't. I was like, I know this mother. He's nuts like that. Like he's sick. I said, oh, he's sick. So I'm like, I call him up. I said, you didn't do that, did you?
I would have loved to held that one out a little further, but it was so real.
Oh my God. I was like, holy shit.
I don't know if you ever been embarrassed as a kid so bad that like your face gets hot and you can feel like the
your ears
redness.
start
My ears. It's probably better for me, my color. I don't know. But like,
did you go to Florida?
I looked. I was like, I was like, start off in a
I
puff.
think
I'm
I
like,
texted him saying,
what
man,
the fuck?
yeah, he got. I think I said something like, "You got out of hand a little bit." Like, I'm gonna.
It might have taken it a little too far.
I love those pranks. Like I don't know what it is. It's not that I praise on other people's like being scared or like fear, but it's some of the stuff that they do is hilarious. I started doing that in my house with the air horn.
Air horn is classic.
I blow it right out. I can't take this parking in my driveway, people screaming in the middle of the night. So like every 15 minutes.
I saw a great one. Son, his parents are, I think it's Italian. They don't speak any English. And the father comes up and tells the son in Italian, he says, they're living in America. I want to tell my wife I love her so much, but I want to learn how to say it in English. And all of a sudden, you see the son just smile and look at the camera, and then it cuts to the father. This is an old man,
Yeah.
and he's got his wife's hand, and he's holding his hand gently. He goes, "Bitch, suck my dick." And you can tell his face is saying "I love you," but his mouth is saying that, and it is one of the greatest ones. So I watch a lot of those on. I watch a lot of those on Instagram.
Yeah, they're funny. Some of them are really, really good.
Now we know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Well, I've said for years, Jackass made a fortune on stuff that I did for free.
That's what. Remember we were talking about that. Imagine we did that, like the stuff that we did when we were
no.
young.
Forget it.
Wow.
We couldn't. Well, first of all, a lot of the stuff would be. I think we'd be arrested for.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We kind of look
Like
maybe
a
bully.
Yeah. I always like the one with the hair buzzers. When they're going in, the guys are riding in the car and they got the hair clippers that go bam right in the back of the head.
Can you guys remember the best prank you pulled prior to cell phones and stuff? I mean, statute of limitations don't exist anymore.
All right. So go ahead. No.
You got a good one. I don't know. I wasn't like a.
I used to shit on my friends' front porches.
That came very quickly.
Yeah.
I did. I used to shit.
That just came right
I shit
out.
like
I used to
sex
shit
tape
on their
sometimes.
front porches at night. I'd sneak out of my house. I'd go shit on their, and I'd come back in, and they'd wake up with a big pile of human shit right
See,
in their
that's-
front door.
And I'm out of my mind. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
It's
So
hypocritical.
The best one. I'm going to tell you the
Show
best
his
one.
face.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the best one.
Dropping a deuce.
The best one was I didn't live too far away from my elementary school, and the door obviously I know the door. Everybody lines up and goes in. Well, I went right in front of the door. I went right in front of the door. As a matter of fact, I climbed up on the roof. I hung my ass over the roof, and I dropped it there. And everybody had to walk past my
wanna
shit.
know, how did you get this fixation of shitting?
I just thought it was funny. It was hilarious. Like all the,
There's a lot of deuce humor, I noticed.
all the girls were
mad
like,
shitter.
"Ew, a dog!" I'm like, and I'm walking past, and I'm like, "It ain't a dog."
Now this therapist, I understand, is very good.
Come on.
But like the shitting doesn't come into the therapy session at all. If it isn't, I think she needs to call me.
She's got a really nice bathroom.
But let me tell you, the shitting thing, it's impactful. Like you really can, like it's all right. Listen, I'm gonna take a nice deuce on your car or something. Like.
Listen, there's no better payback in the world than that. Tom, what do you got?
So this happened in a public building.
Is this like you made some kid do fucking long division math or something in grade school?
No. Oh, he couldn't carry the one. That was funny. Did you see that?
Look at him! I make him do 3 decimal points.
Yeah. Little Dewey Decimal Kid over there. He's so smart. So what we used to do, there's no least masculine way to look is when you're just frightened out of nowhere. and you don't see it coming. So what we used to do is there was one of those gray roller bins, like the big dumpster bins that you just roll like cardboard and stuff. In the back door of this public building, it might be a police department, but so we would get the bin. And I'd hide underneath the cardboard when people would come in and out of the back door, and we would video record their reaction.
See, that's what I like.
So I'd come up and I just throw the cardboard off and go, ah! People drop their coffee, half fart, half fumble, So there's a shit joke in there for you. And we'd video record the reaction. There's one guy, he looked like a little baby pterodactyl. He was so scared.
See, I would have thrown a bag of shit in there.
Yeah.
I would have just got that.
He's obsessed with
I
that.
am.
If you worked in my department, there might have been a bag in there.
Or, here was the big thing when I was a kid. It's taking if you had a tennis ball or something.
Yeah.
Trying to hit another guy in the nuts with the tennis ball.
We had the doo-doo fairy. We had the doo-doo fairy back in the day.
I'm almost afraid to ask. What's the
No, that's when somebody didn't do the right thing at work.
Yeah.
They get the doo-doo fairy.
What's the doo-doo? You got to explain that one, man.
Doo-doo fairy would show up, and when you went to get in your car early in the morning, they'd have a little doo-doo on the handle,
on the door handle, or something that you might be inclined to touch.
Little Vaseline on the railings. That was a good one.
That's a good one too.
That was a really good one.
And the bird seats on the car.
Bird seat on. Now,
OC on the steering wheel and the air conditioning vent's a good one.
If there's one thing that's truthful and universal with men, is we really never grow up.
Nah.
Well, we never grow up. We still think farts are funny. We still think all those childish things are funny, and that's why men love mindless humor. That's why men are always drawn to things like the Three Stooges or Farrelly Brothers movies, stuff like that. Tommy Boy. There's no erudical information out of there. Yeah. Erudical.
Yeah. Good first
that
date.
was like a movie. Erudical.
So when you were cops, the pranks don't stop.
No.
So there's the common ones, baby powder in the vents, because you're wearing a blue uniform. And what's the first thing they tell you as a cop? Don't eat white powdered donuts, because or little pepper spray on the floor, or pepper spray in the vents. Sure. Cops at a car, they're all we used to have the universal keys. You move the car. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that you can do.
One of my favorites during like midnights was inner jurisdiction when they had bulk night. And when people give away or they put out bulk, they would put out like crazy things. So one person happened to throw out a gigantic bag, like an industrial bag of packing peanuts. So we got the guy's personal car and we were able to fit all the loose packing peanuts inside his car. So when he got off his shift, he opened the door and the peanuts were everywhere. And stuffed animals. People would throw out stuffed animals. So we'd load a guy's car up with all the
now, what did they do in Hoboken? Because Hoboken's a different animal than everybody else.
They actually did like the throwing a body off the roof, like a fake one. Yeah. It was a new, I'll never forget, it was a new kid.
Dude, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, like he thought it was a jumper.
Wow,
jumper.
Jumper.
I swear.
Wow, that's better than packing peanuts,
they did that.
I think.
They did the normal stuff. Yeah, they'd glue you to like a locker.
Yeah, crazy glue in the combination locker. That was another good one.
But then the jokes started getting, then people just started using it negatively. You'd start doing jokes and, the next day you return like, get out of here. I just stopped going to the locker room.
My favorite one as a cop was a coffee bomb. So I would go get my coffee, and you leave about half filled. Now, the old Crown Vics had the push bumper in the front.
Yeah.
So when you went to go back somebody up on a stop or something, you take your half cup of coffee and you put it right on there was a shelf right before the last bar. You put it right there. Now, it would stay there until they hit about 35 miles an hour. And when they hit about 35 miles an hour, that sucker would shoot up and hit the windshield and and you'd hear over the radio, "That's a good one." And you're just like, "Yes, I got you."
Wait, I got one for 2024. It was very humorous. Watching Flynn stress during the fundraiser. Listen, I laughed so much. Like,
That was
He's-
that was the Not Today, Mike Fille's Not Today
Yeah.
fundraiser for the Seton Hall Scholarship.
His way of dealing with things and his comments, like whether it's under his breath or to people, it's just hilarious.
I've never seen anybody so organized. Like, it was almost, Jesus Christ, you, like...
I purposely... You got to talk to him.
Yeah.
He said like this.
Yeah, I was like, hey, it's 3 for 5, 5 for 10. Hey, want a raffle? I have $17.35. Okay, cool. We'll take that.
I was sitting right next
And
to
then
him.
people start arguing with me about
Yeah.
like, and then the tickets where we had the prizes.
Yeah.
You know, there was somebody came over and said, no, you're doing it all wrong. Hey, thanks for showing up. Hey, you're here for hot 10
Hi,
minutes.
nice to talk to you.
That's cool. Nice to meet you.
I have this vision of when Flynn's in the bathroom, he has to take three sheets of toilet paper, fold it over twice again, and then use it. Like, that's how organized you were with that. And I watch it. So whenever I got to fly, Tom is generous enough to take me to the airport. And whenever I get in, it's always early. Like, it's always 5 o'clock in the morning. He's got a cup of coffee, and he knows I use one sweet and low, and he's got the sweet and low, and he's got a coffee stir there, and it's got, like, everything. I'm surprised.
Did it rain?
My car.
I'm like, he's got a nice little wet nap for me in case I want to freshen up.
Hey, come on.
I'm like, he's got everything. Now, we had a guest. We had a guest this year that, not my favorite guest. Okay? Not my favorite guest. And I just, at the end of the night, we had to help him in his car. We had to help him in his car. Well, when we're getting him in the car, he cuts himself. And Flynn's like, I got a Band-Aid. He comes out with a whole fucking EMT kit.
Yeah. He's Mr. Gadget.
And like a light that was brighter than 3 suns. The poor man got fucking sunburnt on the light. And I look at him, I go, man, you just make it easy.
We went crabbing, and I said, yeah, we got it. Flynn comes out with like samurai swords and things like grabbing the crab's face and like jelly to put on the crabs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
smelly jelly, man. Smelly jelly.
He's Mr. Gadget, Inspector Gadget.
Wait, that's a real thing. You put fucking jelly on a crab. What?
Yeah, it's this attractant. It's called smelly jelly, and
It worked. Listen.
Yeah,
it's just KY jelly.
And we didn't have the right net. No, it's not.
It's just KY jelly.
It was like we were grabbing a lot, so
yeah,
we didn't have like the proper net like to go over. So obviously, I'm gonna do something nutty. So I'm on the bottom of the boat.
Oh my God!
Just scooping them up. Now, these things like there's like 3 or 4 of them, whatever it is. So now one of them, Flynn. I don't know what you had, like some kind of a grabber thing. I don't know. So Flynn couldn't get the one crab. And it lands on my chest.
Yeah.
So, listen to me. I'm not even joking around. So now...
This is like a Three Stooges episode. I saw this before.
And I'm telling you, like when everything, you just get tunnel vision? All I heard was the claws, right? So I see it coming down. Kevin, I don't know what I went like this. I did like a gymnast move. I don't even know how I did. I couldn't move afterwards.
It was like the Matrix.
He
moved like the bullets were
Jason
going this
Bourne.
way.
And it crawled right underneath me, and it went into the water. I was like, oh, that thing is...
Because they were clicking. It almost got him right in his piece.
I said, all right.
It
He said, good job, Flynn.
I know. I felt bad. You were saying about me being... You were saying about, like... What did I do the other night with the cards?
Oh, sorting them out. He's got all type. I say, hey Flynn, I need a heater. He comes with like a snow blower. He's got all these gadgets. Like, you plug it up to propane, and it's not gonna blow up in your house. It's like gadgets, Mr. Gadget. Everything, and a knife. I'll tell you right now. I think the one you had, forget it. It would have sliced like paper.
Yeah.
There was one that I was looking for that I was going to bring in tonight, and I got to tell you about it because it would have been fucking hilarious. While you guys were sitting there talking, years ago I bought my wife a shake weight.
Oh my God.
It was a joke.
Yeah,
it was a joke. And while you guys were talking, I was just going to grab the thing and start going. I just want to get a workout in. But this is what we like to do. So we do enough of our lives has been spent being miserable or being, just overly anxious because all the shit's coming down on us. And this is what we do for each other. Like, this is really what we do for each other, is sort of calm each other down, make us laugh, make us get out of our own heads. And what were we talking about the other day? I can't remember what it
Thai
was.
restaurant. NJM.
Oh, no. We were on the phone because you were actually telling me about something really awful that happened. And out of nowhere, you sent me a picture.
Oh, great.
You sent me a picture, and I'm like, there's no way they fucking belong to him. I thought he was gay. And it was just the worst non sequitur to a really horrible thing.
It still seems about right, though, the way you describe it. That's probably exactly how it went down.
It was I don't know. It was a tough year, but having everybody around, it was, and I kind of reconnected with some, not reconnected, but like my childhood friends and like this core right here, being in contact with each other all the time. It's like important.
We don't text each other every day because
you don't have to. I talk to these guys like once a year. These other guys.
No. With us, with our group, we don't talk to each other every day.
Yeah.
When we're silent, somebody will chime in. Somebody will check in or do whatever.
Yeah.
And then Flynn and I see each other a lot. You and Flynn see each other a lot. I see Bobby every once in a while. But the nice thing is I know you guys are there, even though you're not around. I know you're there. But why is having the group? I know why the group is important to me, but I want to know why the group is important to both of you.
I think on a majority of the things we've been through, almost every level, we've all experienced it as individuals.
Absolutely.
So we can all relate to anything that's going on in our lives. You know what I mean? That's how I mean, and friendships and stuff. I guess it's not. I guess it is. It's important. Like I could sit here and chit chat with him at night. Like, hey man, and he gets it about what I was going through a few years ago.
When you guys are holding each other's hands late at night, stroking each other's hair.
So you had to go. It's a sickness.
Hey, one of these. Listen, you got to tell him the one. Maybe not now, but when you ran out. When you were playing football back in the day?
I can't tell that.
Later.
Yeah, that's another.
This one.
That's a Flynn faux pas.
This one's a great one.
Well, you're like the best setup man in the world.
Hey,
he's got the best. The way he tells his stories, it's classical.
The material, it writes itself.
You do.
My life writes itself.
You're just telling us about your nipple problem before we started.
I mean, having too many. There is such a thing as too many nipples, and
it's called being a dog.
He had to one up the hernia. He had to one up the hernia.
It's called being a dog. They got like 6 nipples.
Yeah. And yes, ladies, I am single. But you were saying about the group. I didn't get any Christmas gifts, tangible Christmas gifts this year. Like I like giving gifts. Like, and if I show up someplace, like I don't come empty-handed. I don't know if it's a Jersey thing or whatever, but
you got me an edible arrangement, which is very nice for Valentine's Day, and it was very good.
Those are great. What do you know? Yeah.
No, I ate it.
I got one for him too.
We both ate it.
Yeah.
Me and him.
You're a guy. You're supposed to get beef jerky. Come on.
Yeah, but you bring something, right? Like you don't come empty-handed.
You're like, why don't you give me fucking flowers?
Yeah, but it's got to be like, so the whole thing it's for the family.
I'm here for you, I'm here for you.
Thank you. It's kind of taken away from the thoughtful meaning I was going to say to this heartfelt thing.
We'll turn it around. Go ahead.
But the group, like I didn't get any gifts, but the hardest days through the holidays, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve coming. I have the gift of this group, and I was in each one of your homes, and I had the gift of company and the gift of somebody being there. That beats any tangible gift that I've gotten yay high till I sit here today. So I thank you, fellas, for that, and Bobby too.
Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's the importance of it. There's a dual reason. Obviously, my wife knew that you had nowhere to go, okay, and she wanted to have you in there. You've been a part of our family now because we go to the same church.
Appreciate it,
which I'm real happy with. But she also brings you around. She says I'm calmer when other people are around. That's so slow your roll on thinking how important you are.
No.
She says, you're calmer.
Basically a comfort animal.
Yeah. Like a teddy bear.
Yeah. You're like an albino snake.
You're like Kevin's binky.
Still single, ladies. Just saying.
And for the right dude.
No.
For the right dude.
It's cool.
So you
just check out his profile on Grindr.
So you're not supposed to use the sticks from the fruit of the edible arrangements to...
Not so much. I mean, there's no
inflict
sticker
pain.
on there that says "Don't do that." So in your defense,
I
stabbing
told
him
Flynn, I
with
said, here's the best thing. Just from now on, say do it.
yeah,
Don't say, Mike, I wouldn't do that. No, just do it. And
reverse
I'll
psychology.
use
Oh,
reverse psychology.
No, don't.
No, I know.
Don't. I think we've all bonded over trauma. All right, that's the truth of it. We've all bonded over trauma. We all experienced something this year that was heart-wrenching. But what are some great things that have come out of some tragedies in your life? Because there's always, again, tragedy over time equals comedy. Are you able to look at your own incidents with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of levity, where sometimes it was all dark?
Yeah. I mean, I actually just recently over my buddy's house, and I was telling stories. Like, people just, I mean, you guys know what I've done, you know? And it was this younger kid, really nice family, really good kid. And I was telling him, yeah, and you could see that he was gravitating towards these stories. But then I told him something else. He's like, oh, shit. I was like, that's why I tell you, you know, these things, you know, not to get to the point or whatever it is. You know, I mean, I don't know.
It's all fun and games until it's not fun and games.
I could laugh.
It's, you know,
Yeah,
at some point where you suck them in with the allure of a certain lifestyle of being
Right.
that wild and crazy guy.
Right.
But then when it goes too far, like this is
Right.
the
And I
consequences.
told him, and I was like, you know, I said I had no filter. You know, whatever was going on, I just didn't. And you weren't going to tell me, you know, not to do it.
the benefit, I think, like especially with the laughter, you cannot laugh with somebody that has not been through
Right.
something deep. You know what I mean? You can have a conversation, you can have things. I think what we're doing, and listen, my trauma story is still being written as we sit here, but each kind of level that you go to, we know that we're going to be able to relate to somebody else
Right.
on that level.
And we were just talking about something he really went through, and like we were laughing the way he told the story. You know, I think that's a positive thing with all of us. Like just even today, like this went on, and then the jokes go.
Well, nobody
'Cause
wants
we know how to just switch turn the switch back on and off.
because I think you both experienced this. Nobody wants that person coming up to you where they pity you. Okay, where I've had this. I've had this before where people come up and they go, "Oh, are you okay?"
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Does it look like I'm okay?
Yeah. Really?
Do you want?
Either one of us.
Right.
Me up here, my silent partner down here.
Yeah. Does it look like we're okay?
Do you own a Botox studio? Then I'm not fucking okay. No, but nobody wants that because I get really aggravated at that. Like I get really aggravated when somebody comes up there because it's almost to me, it's almost like they're looking down on me a little bit when somebody does that.
Yeah.
But when somebody comes up and says, "Ha, here you got taken to this fucking place. Hey, by the cops. Hey, how was that? You fucking idiot."
Well, there's caring in that camaraderie.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the experience or at least part of it, or be open to hear, like, you know, Mike's story, forget about it. You know, like, you know, if you don't at least have overlap somewhere to understand that, pity and like a joke, even if it's at your expense, like you really do know that it's coming from a caring place.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you need. The Suffering Podcast welcomes our newest sponsor, Keto Revive. Ketamine infusions that are personalized, accessible, and holistic. Proven treatments for post-traumatic stress, depression, anxiety, chronic pain, neuropathic pain, and so much more. Keto Revive is physician-operated with customized treatments tailored to you and an outstanding support system. Keto Revive offers first responder special discounts. So try something new. Proven treatments located in Wyckoff, New Jersey. To find out more, visit Keto Revive at ketorevive.com. Let's start healing today.
I think I'm desensitized to just about everything. Like things that used to bother me, I'm like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like I don't even care anymore. Like I don't mean I don't care about what's going on. I just don't like. If I have to be alone, I'll be alone. Like I don't mean to be morbid, but I just really got to that point where I'm just tired. I'm tired of battling. I'm tired of, I'm tired of I'm like, I don't want to deal with it.
But you know
What
what?
else can you do to me? Like, what are you gonna do?
Those people that have had the shit kicked down to them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Here's what I found. I found that those are the people who are most willing to step up in your times of need and give you the shirt off their back, even when they don't have another shirt to wear.
Yeah.
Right? And those are I believe that's the four of us when it comes to each other.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny thing about our group, and I just got this message today. Like, people want to meet us together. They want to see how we interact. It's almost like we're a zoo attraction.
They will immediately regret that decision.
Yes. It's almost like put the four of us in a room behind plexiglass and people come and watch.
Yeah, you got to sign off on this disclaimer
It's
right
like
here.
the Meadowlands
Hold
Fair.
harmless.
Pay $5 to watch these four rip each other's.
Well, so it's Bobby, the one you got to worry about. Like, you will physically rip their head off. You will be self-deprecating and to the point where they just get really uncomfortable. Bobby, and I've seen this with Bobby.
Yeah.
He's a different animal. He will verbally rip into somebody.
Yeah, he's yeah.
And so this is the thing with him. I know how to. You gotta understand Bobby in order to know where he's coming from. Like, I know when he says those things, I know there's not a whole lot that he says. He's not trying to hurt you. He's actually shown. It's his love language. His love language is busting balls.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I've seen him not like somebody, and it isn't pretty.
Yeah.
Like, he'll fucking just he'll come right out and say it. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, you fucking.
He's got a
idiot.
big heart though. Like when he says what he says, I guess it's the way we all are. Like we just, behind that, we have, big hearts, which sometimes it's used against us. Like
It's always used against us, but
Yeah.
that's the cool thing here is I'm not going to use your shit against you.
Yeah.
I'll bust your balls about it until you cry and get mad at me.
I'm cool with that.
But I'll never use it against you.
Yeah.
And I think that's so I was watching this video and it was a guy getting up there and talking, and he was actually specifically talking about partners in a marriage or a relationship.
Yeah.
Guys can be involved in this as well. So
Good times.
okay.
He
He
said
said
he
did
doesn't play
there.
cards with us.
he said something. He goes, when a guy opens up to his wife, I think that's how he put it. When a guy opens up to his wife and then the wife turns around and uses that against him in an argument, all you just did is make sure that guy will never open up to you again.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
fair
Oh, that's what I
statement.
started. Honestly, I started to see myself I just started getting silent, more and more quiet, just sitting back, like in just about every aspect. And I'm like, I just sat and watched and watched and watched. And then I just started separating from certain things and moving, and
Because you will physically rip somebody's head off. Like, I think you have that capability.
I'm not a tough, I'm very,
No, it's
very,
not.
I'm very protective.
It's
Very,
not, it's not about being a tough guy. It's
Yeah.
about willing to do what other people aren't.
yeah, If it had something to do with friends and family, a lot of people know that about me. I wouldn't, and that's I think another thing I got to work on.
Like, if somebody's giving me a crap, I'm like, Mike,
Yeah.
go.
Oh, okay, hold on, man, right back.
No, but I think we get
No, yeah.
defensive with our own too. Like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
somebody was messing with one of us for whatever reason or something like that, I'm not saying physically or was challenging them or making them
Yeah.
look bad in social media or down
No,
talking
we
them
don't
or
do
something,
any of that.
we would be the first ones to come to each other's
Yeah,
aid.
yeah.
I feel 4 a.m. phone call, no matter what it is.
So this is something that you haven't heard. So I was out speaking somewhere, and somebody from your old department, I don't even know the name, somebody from your old department. And I was like, oh, I know Tom Flynn. And I saw the look on his face. And I go, I don't even want to talk to you no more. He didn't say anything, but I could tell by the look he wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
He wasn't a fan. And I said, I don't even want to talk to you. Just keep going.
You know what's kind of crazy?
It was in a line. Like, there was a line.
People judge you from just recent, even with Danny, we're great friends. We talk every day, and somebody that had was around him, we were all around each other, and they were like, "Wow, he's not. No, it's not what everybody said I was doing. Yeah, did I do some messed up things? It's not the exaggerated thing." And I just had recently was kind of very impactful, believe it or not. Whatever the situation was, but way back when I kind of mounted off to somebody, I wasn't going through great times, and I had to pick somebody up, and this person came up to me and hugged me, and I was like, wow. I said, I'm really sorry for what I did. That hug right there, it's going to go such a distance with me, respect-wise. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was, and I think we both knew who was, the reasons why it was the way it was, you know?
Yeah, you bump helmets with another guy, it's over.
No. I was like, wow, for the holiday sick, that, not that I'm saying other things that other people didn't do, but this thing was like, it was like a mutual respect.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
Did you go in for the hug with your
No, he couldn't, because he couldn't get all the way around. He was like, hey, can you move to him? So he gave me a hug. No, it was just, it was impactful. I don't know.
Well, it's something to be
You
said.
got that going for you.
Well, it's something to be said. Somebody who's kind of like your adversary.
See, I can't even be emotional here.
Nope.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Not the episode. Not this one.
All right, listen, we squared off. You know, I don't.
A real man will settle their differences that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll settle their differences. So violence does have its place. Right?
Yeah.
You could be angry with somebody. Poor Flynn.
I don't think I could ever be like.
No,
angry.
you know what?
You're the bully.
He did something, and you know what this is. And he didn't do something. He was a recipient of a text message that if you got it or Bobby got it, it would have come to me first, and it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I text him. I go, yeah, the next time you get a text message like that, I need to be the first to be notified. And he texts back, received. That was it.
Don't fight it.
Received.
I like it. Listen, he's a smart man. He's articulate. He's college educated. Okay. Send. That's probably the best way to handle it, right?
Yep.
It
but
worked.
you can have those and it wasn't a threat of violence. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But you can have those disagreements with your friends. And a real man, what they'll do is they'll confront, and then they'll get over it.
Yeah, instantly.
Yeah, they'll get over it.
That's where I am, instantly.
You know, and I think that's the best way to handle things. And I think it's a lost art. You know, and then before you know it, 2 seconds go by, everything's forgotten, and you're busting each other's balls again.
Yeah, don't let it fester.
Right? But I can't sit across from somebody and have fun with them if I don't like them. So
I get it.
Like I can't be that phony person. I know a lot of people who are.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and joke around, and secretly they're motherfucking.
I had to do that I had to do that in certain situations in my life.
The motherfucking.
I had nothing in common with it. I'm like, you know, what?
Yeah.
I sit there.
Yeah.
Should I go get the Donkey Kong shirt again?
It's usually with your spouse's friend or your girlfriend's friend's friend and their new boyfriend or whatever that is.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there like, oh yeah, oh wow,
Yeah.
Wow,
Hey, you're a cop. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I got a nice kick in the ass on the way out.
Did you ever pull your gun out?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. It's cool.
What, you never seen John Wick? That was me. That was me.
Jason
I was known
Bourne?
as John Prick.
Yes.
So guys, listen, we are coming to the end. Of course, follow you at the Tom Flynn across the board. I think that's everything,
You
right?
don't
Correct.
Don't follow me. I don't like to be followed.
Oh, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to press everybody. I'm going to try to blow up your Instagram.
I'll shut down again for another year.
No, you're not. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. It's DePalma _20 on Instagram.
Is that it? Yeah.
Spot on.
And I think your TikTok is.
I haven't had TikTok no more.
No, it's Funboy27. It's
See
a big
what I'm
picture
saying?
of you.
I'm not even going to do that.
Or is that no? It's I'm sorry, Twitter.
Boy.
It's Helmet Bumper on Twitter.
I
Or
don't
X?
think I had Twitter.
Twitter.
The Electric Horseman.
So this is going to be a little different. Usually it's kind of like what your suffering taught you. In 2025, how are you going to both bring a little bit more joy, a little bit more happiness, a little bit more laughter into your life? Tom, I'll start with you.
I think I got one step up. I'm around the right people, right? Like we laugh. Laughter the best medicine. I think when they say like these New Year's resolutions, they say, what one thing are you going to do? Well, for me, it's mind, body, and soul. 3 things.
Stop breaking your ribs when you're lifting weights, though.
I fell. I fell. It
Felt
was-
like a
He
90-year-old
just went
woman.
there. He
I
went
did.
there on that one.
I know.
He went
I
there.
busted 2 ribs. Still single, ladies. If you can imagine.
I said, why
He went to lift weights and he
"Flynn, what the
fell
fuck?"
over. Like, what could be worse? But yeah, mind, body, and soul. So I'm going to work on the mind, being around the right people, the body, and the soul. So and those 3 things that I talked about, I'm going to do. I'm going to read those 3 books. And I'm
Well, I
gonna
think you got the
reunite them.
mind and the soul because I think, I got you in front of the right people to help that soul portion. Body,
I'm the before picture for sure. Here he is before.
What was that question again?
oh, don't make me repeat.
Come on, just one more real quick.
How are you going to bring more joy, happiness, and laughter into your life in 2025? Because
I mean,
it's an active pursuit. Like it's not something that just happens. You got to work at this stuff to bring that happiness. in.
yeah, that's tough. It really is. I'm gonna be honest. Like
Have
that's
Flynn
tough...
move into the bedroom next year.
No, I mean, it's.
Can you turn the lights out? They are out. It's me.
I guess the same thing as him, but it's mainly people that are close to me, and then my kids. Obviously, they just change everything with me. I guess more joy with them, and maybe starting to like people again.
Well, for me, it's taken me 50 years of my life to find the right tribe. And I finally found the right tribe. And with that, with the right people around me, I think it's going to open up a lot of possibilities in my life. It's going to show me some of my blind spots. It's going to show me some of my positives that I might be blind to. So with the right tribe that I have now, I think there's going to be a lot of possibilities. There's definitely going to be a lot of laughter.
100%.
There's definitely going to be a lot. Guys, I thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. This is a new season. We got all new stories of woe, but we got a lot of useful information coming up. And I appreciate you guys coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, new season 5. And as always, let's think about all the stuff we learned. Tragedy over time creates comedy. Fake grinder profiles are very, very funny. Flynn's got extra nipples.
Purple nurple.
DePalma has a hernia that I cannot unsee. But most importantly, suffering builds bonds and friendship. And I thank you guys for that. And that's going to do it for this episode. Don't forget to go to popple.com, put in the code TSP20 for a 20% discount on your digital business card. Follow us on all social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Clapper, OnlyFans. Follow me at Real Kevin Donaldson. And of course, follow the Suffering Podcast. We're going to see you on the next episode.